about a decade, this was the sound of being close to someone far away. Skype didn't just make phone calls cheaper, it made distance feel optional. A grandmother in one country could watch a grandchild grow up in another for free on a laptop, in a way that felt like science fiction had quietly arrived. It got so big that the name stopped being a name. People didn't say, "Let's video call." They said, "Let's Skype." It became a verb, the rarest thing a brand can ever become. By the end of 2010, more than 660 million people had signed up. At its peak, around 300 million of them used it every single month. Skype had done something almost no company ever does. It didn't win a market, it invented one, and then owned it completely. And then, on May 5th, 2025, after 22 years, it was switched off, quietly, like a call that just ends. So how does the company that invented the future of talking lose it? To understand Skype's death, you have to understand what it was really made of. It started with two men, Niklas Zennström from Sweden and Jonas Friis from Denmark. Before Skype, they built something the entire music industry wanted destroyed, a file-sharing program called Kazaa. Kazaa let millions of strangers trade files directly, computer to computer, with no big company server sitting in the middle. The technology was called peer-to-peer, and the record labels sued them into the ground for it. But Zennström and Friis had learned something the lawsuits couldn't take away. They had learned how to move enormous amounts of data across the internet for almost nothing, by letting users carry the load themselves. So they took that same outlawed technology and pointed it at the telephone. If peer-to-peer could move a song between two strangers, it could move a voice. And a voice was a phone call. And phone calls in 2003 were a global industry built on charging you by the minute. Skype's plan was simple and almost violent: make that entire industry free. They didn't build a better phone company. They built a weapon aimed at the idea of phone companies. The weapon worked. Skype spread across the planet faster than almost any software before it. No ad budget, just people telling other people. Which is exactly when a giant came knocking. In 2005, the online auction empire eBay bought Skype for $2.6 billion. The logic sounded clever in a boardroom. Buyers and sellers could just talk. Click a listing, call the seller, close the deal. There was only one problem. Nobody wanted to phone a stranger to buy a used camera. The whole appeal of eBay was that you didn't have to talk to anyone. The synergy never came. eBay had paid billions for a rocket ship and tried to bolt it onto a flea market. By 2007, eBay admitted the truth in the cruelest language business has: a write-down quietly erasing well over $1 billion of the value it had just paid. And in 2009, it gave up. eBay sold off most of Skype to a group of investors led by Silver Lake. Skype had now been bought, misunderstood, and sold, and it still hadn't found an owner who knew what it actually was. Then came the biggest buyer of all. In May 2011, Microsoft acquired Skype for $8.5 billion in cash. At the time, it was the largest acquisition in Microsoft's history. On paper, it was a perfect home. Microsoft had hundreds of millions of users, Windows on nearly every desktop, and deep pockets. Skype had the most loved communication brand on Earth. Microsoft wired Skype into everything. It replaced its own messenger. It put Skype on Windows, on Xbox, on Office. This was supposed to be the moment Skype stopped being passed around like a problem and finally became a king. But Microsoft had bought Skype at the exact instant the ground beneath it was about to move. Because in 2011, the world was walking away from the desktop computer that Skype was born on, and toward the phone in everyone's pocket. And Skype's greatest strength was about to become the thing that killed it. Remember what Skype was really made of? That outlaw peer-to-peer technology. On a desktop computer, plugged into power, always online, it was genius. Every user quietly helped carry the network. It cost Skype almost nothing to run, and it felt like magic. But a smartphone is not a desktop. A phone sleeps to save battery. It jumps between Wi-Fi and cellular. It can't sit there all day doing free work for a network it barely notices. The very design that made Skype unbeatable on laptops made it heavy, slow, and battery-hungry on phones, exactly where the entire world was moving. So Microsoft made a fateful decision. It tore out Skype's peer-to-peer heart and rebuilt it on company-run servers in the cloud. It was the right idea, executed in the most damaging way possible. The rebuilds dragged on for years. App updates broke features people relied on. The interface was redesigned again and again, each version louder, more confusing, more bloated than the last. Long-time users opened the app they had trusted for a decade and no longer recognized it. Skype was so busy rebuilding its own engine that it forgot to look out the window, where a dozen smaller, faster competitors were quietly stealing the future, one app at a time. The attack didn't come from one giant. It came from everywhere at once. In 2010, Apple built FaceTime directly into the iPhone. Suddenly, the simplest video call on Earth was one tap away. No account, no download, no Skype. Then came WhatsApp, which made free calling and messaging feel effortless on a phone, and added voice and video calls to 1 billion pockets. Each rival didn't try to beat Skype at everything. They just did one thing better and chipped off one more reason to open Skype. Skype's answer was to add more features, more buttons, more redesigns, bots and reactions and highlights nobody asked for. It got heavier while its rivals got lighter. The numbers tell the story. From around 300 million monthly users at its peak, Skype's usage bled out year after year. By 2023, the last time Microsoft reported a figure, Skype was down to about 36 million daily users, a fraction of what it once was. The verb was fading from the language. People had stopped saying, "Let's Skype." They'd started saying something else. And then came the final twist. The killer wasn't a competitor at all. It was a sibling. In 2017, Microsoft launched Teams, its own chat, calling and meetings app aimed at businesses. Microsoft now owned two products that did almost the same thing. And inside the company, it was clear which child was the favorite. The money, the engineers, the attention. It all flowed to Teams. Then 2020 arrived, and the entire planet was sent home. Overnight, the world needed exactly one thing: a simple way to see each other's faces from a distance. This was the moment Skype had spent 20 years preparing for. The pandemic was its destiny. And it missed it completely. The world didn't reach for Skype. It reached for Zoom, a company most people had never heard of a year earlier. And for Teams, Skype's own replacement. Let's Skype became, let's hop on a Zoom. Skype watched its own funeral happen on a video call, just not on Skype. On May 5, 2025, Microsoft shut Skype down for good and pointed the last users toward Teams. A company it had paid $8.5 billion for switched off after 14 years. But here's the strange thing about Skype's death. Look at how you talk to the people you love today. Free video calls across the world, voices carried over the internet instead of phone lines, faces on a screen as normal as a knock on the door. That's the world Skype imagined back in 2003, when two men took a technology the music industry had tried to kill and aimed it at the telephone. Skype won. Its vision is now everyone's everyday life. It just didn't get to be the one holding it at the end. Skype didn't lose because its idea was wrong. It lost because its idea was so right that everyone else built it better, while Skype was busy fighting its own design, its own owners, and finally, its own family. The future Skype invented is all around you. It just stopped having Skype's name on it.